You are listening to a Gravestone production podcast.
Welcome to the Epikast. My name is Scott Graves, and our goal on this podcast is to tell you exciting and epic tales in the style of Homeric Odysseys. To do this, we will be using a heavily modified version of the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules set. So, if you are well versed in the rules of 5th edition, do not worry about it. As of the recording of this intro, I am working on a way to share out the homebrew rules we are using at the table for those who are curious. Stay tuned to our social media at Gravestone Crew for updates on that, or on Instagram and Twitter there. On the other side of the spectrum, if you are like my father and have never played D&D in your life and yet listen to this show, firstly, I thank you for listening and I hope it can keep you entertained. And secondly, the basics of this game are simple. Similar to our other podcast, The Shadow over California, I serve as the narrator for the story. My other hosts are the players, and each player has created a character for our epic.
Yay!
These characters have a sheet of math that represents their various traits and abilities. Whenever these characters attempt something that has a chance of failure or success, they roll a 20-sided die and consult their character sheet for any bonuses or penalties they apply to the dice. Should they beat the target number or difficulty class of the action they are attempting, they succeed. If they roll lower than the difficulty class, then they fail. These are the basics, but fear not, some of our players are new to the game as well, and we do our best to explain the rules as we go. Speaking of our players, let me introduce them.
Yay!
Let me tell you about the character, and let me introduce them, and let them tell you about the characters they're playing. We will start with the wonderful Nick Meyer.
That's me.
That is you.
So what are we talking about? Are we talking about ourselves?
Your character.
My character, okay.
Yeah.
We don't want to know about you.
Yeah, that's fair.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We'll learn enough about you as the show goes on.
Yeah, you guys learn too much about me as the show goes on, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah, all right. So my character, we're starting off strong as we are entering this very, very homebrew with another homebrew from a famous guy. And if you guys are familiar with D&D world, Matt Colville, the Illrigger. So I'm playing an Illrigger. Basically, if you don't know, it's a Knight of Hell. As we are in a mythic world, there is a sort of Hades equivalent. And so I am actually the son of sort of the Hades, the Lord of the Underworld, Nishval.
His name is Zaret.
Yeah, Nishval is the name of Hades, and his name is Zaret.
Gosh,
I'm
Nick,
his
I thought
son.
you did your research.
What?
I thought you did research.
I did. I did my research into this
Please continue.
fake world. So I'm a son of Hades, and I got a big sword.
Sweet.
My name is Vesuvius, also.
Oh.
That is my
That's
name.
sick.
Like the mountain?
That's actually really
Vesuvius?
freaking dope.
I like it. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm also joined by the magnificent Justice Milhon.
That's me. I'll be playing the character Erimnos. I'm going to be a hunter ranger. I follow the goddess of Ziana, who is comparable to
Artemis.
I lost the name. Who's comparable to Artemis, who's been protecting his grove for quite some time.
We're joined by the marvelous Jessica Simons.
That's me. Okay. I am playing a Gorgon life cleric of Ilfina, who is more or less the equivalent of Demeter in Yield and Greek pantheon. And my name is Kaisea. I run an orphanage, and I have a whole lot of children around me all the time.
And for those of you unfamiliar with the word Gorgon, that is like a Medusa person, so she has snakes for hair.
Yes, I do. They're
That's
really
metal.
pretty. For any of you interested, it is it's a palm.
She's got a
Pit
whole
She spent a
drawing.
long time deciding which snakes
How
they would be.
many weeks and hours did you spend picking your snake hair?
Well, I had about 10 tabs up on my laptop with different pictures of snakes, and I was researching the snakes and like where they come from and like how pretty they are, and I ranked them based on how pretty the snake was and how venomous the snake was. I also looked at, venom, prettiness of the snake, prettiness of the scales. Honestly, I just wanted a really aesthetically pleasing snake,
God, I
and there's
love
a
you.
surprisingly large amount of aesthetically pleasing snakes. It was a really hard decision, but they are yellow-blotched palm pit vipers, which are indigenous to, I believe, South America. I've seen a lot of snakes, so don't quote me on that.
All right. Last but not least, we are joined by the ever lovely Sarah Heaton.
Hello. I am playing Ina, and I am a sorcerer. I am also demigod of Ziana.
Ziana.
I always say that wrong. I am not with anybody. I am by myself out in the lonesome of the woods, living my best life.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not buddies.
But
both in
like
the
we're
woods.
like we're in the woods. I'm just by myself, living my
Antisocial
life.
social club.
Trying
Antisocial social
yeah,
club.
exactly. Trying to figure things out.
Hell yeah.
I will point out different woods.
Yes,
Ah.
we're
So,
yeah.
You're in the woods to the west of our starting city of Thyryma. Sarah is in the Epinian Woods, which are to the east of it.
Do you want to sort of introduce like how familiar you are with the game and sort of
We can go back around the table and say how many years we've been playing.
most of this table's been playing like D&D for years, but we are joined by Sarah,
Yeah.
who is a newcomer to D&D. So
Less than 6 months.
Yeah. Whereas everybody else at the table's been playing
Yes.
for
so those
5
of you
years
unfamiliar
plus.
with D&D, you have a seat at the table as well.
There we go.
You
Welcome.
can live vicariously through Sarah.
And those of you who are familiar with D&D, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah. Look
The
at
rest of
whole
us are pretty
spectrum.
familiar with the rules.
I'm
Yeah.
coming close on, I think, a decade.
It's
Oh
getting
my
there.
gosh,
Something
dude.
That's
like
a
It's
lot.
getting there.
We're getting old.
Yeah.
But I've been a DM from the start. I was the guy on
Yeah.
my friend group in high school who got the D&D starter set, and then because I owned the set and none of my friends played, I then was the DM by default. So
And now you're a forever DM.
Now here we are. Yeah.
and now I'm making my own rules for the game. Those of which the biggest thing being the special fate mechanics that I've set out here. The party begins with a fate pool. The fate pool contains a number of fate tokens equal to the number of players. So there are 4. As play proceeds, players may spend fate tokens from the pool to appeal to deities known as the manifestations to become involved. These abilities are powerful, but when they spend these fate tokens, it goes from their pool to my pool as the GM. I may also spend fate tokens from my pool to return them to the party's pool. I have the same list of abilities, but some of them are a little different just because the nature of my creatures don't necessarily need to use the same abilities as the players. I'll do a quick rundown of some of these abilities. The first one being, the most common two most likely, being load the dice of luck and double check destiny. Loading the dice of luck allows you to turn in a fate token to get advantage or disadvantage to a roll. Any roll you want, my roll, your roll, someone else's roll, you choose advantage or disadvantage. Double check destiny is after a roll has been made, you can spend a fate token to re-roll the entire thing. Again, it doesn't matter whose roll it is, mine, yours. The only caveat being you cannot double check destiny on rolls that you have loaded the dice of luck. Right? So if you already have advantage or disadvantage, you can't then play double check destiny. And with double check destiny, you have to use the new roll. It's not advantage or disadvantage post-mortem. It's
Double check destiny works on damage, yes?
correct. So does load the dice of luck.
Oh,
They work for any die rolls.
how interesting.
One of the other options is bribe death. If you suffer massive damage of a degree that would cause immediate death or any other sort of effect like that, you can spend 2 fate tokens to be reduced to 0 hit points, but you do not stabilize. Death is not that patient. You can also spend a fate token via appease life to recharge a feature that you can use on short rest or long rest rechargeables. This does not work for spell slots, but it does work for things like channel divinity for our cleric and that sort of stuff. You can spend 2 fate tokens to seek what is known to learn a weakness, resistance, or special ability of a creature. You can also invoke the old laws, where you spend 3 fate tokens to overturn a single ruling of mine. These tokens are limited to what I would call on-the-fly rulings, which is I will usually prefix with, I'm going to say this, all right? And those you can invoke the old laws and tell me how it works. But you
awesome.
cannot change functions of rulings which are found in the player's handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, or the homebrew rules document that I have shared with you all previously.
Beautiful.
And then the last thing is believe in dreams. You may spend a fate token to attempt the near impossible. I have final say on the impossible and the attempt, but you can spend it. It could be casting a spell at 1 spell level higher than you currently have. Could be making an attack that bypasses damage resistance of a creature. Regardless, this allows you to spend a token to attempt it. It will be very high DC regardless, but it will allow you to attempt something that you could not normally do. A caveat for this, while you can load the dice of luck or double check destiny on these rolls, you cannot invoke the old laws on a believe in dreams check.
That makes sense.
Those are our special fate mechanics. So I will hand you 4 the fate tokens.
Can we each give out one? Guys, these are really cool. Scott has made them in a 3D printer, and each one of the tokens is a different letter of
And then
fate.
painted them gold. That's really pretty.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, we were grabbing one, passing it down.
But I got the A.
I have a T.
Got the F. I'll take that F.
So that is our fate system. That is our special rules mechanics that hopefully will give us a little bit more of that epic Odyssey feel. Now, shall we begin our story?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's.
All right. So our story begins in the world of Kinos, which is a flat earth and a land where you can look up in the night sky and you can see heaven itself, the realm of Asteria. And if you swim down through the deepest depths of the oceans, you will find yourself at the gates of Nishval, also known as Hell. The sun is setting as you approach the city of Thyryma, nestled between the crooks and crannies of the Thrasan Valley. However, the golden rays of the sun illuminate not the green hills and fertile fields you saw last time you visited some years back, but instead it illuminates a land that is brown and black. The fields are twisted and the faint smell of rotten fruit floats on the air as you make your way into the city. Wandering through the streets, you catch stares from the inhabitants. Many of them look tired, and many look to be on the verge of unhealthily skinny. Glancing in your direction as you go by, a faint look of hope in their eyes. We're going to start with you, Nick. So what does Vesuvius look like?
So Vesuvius has got this ashen gray kind of smoky hair. I don't. That's kind of one of his only other main defining features. Honestly, I want the rest to sort of be up to imagination. But he is like, you know, a dude that another thing is like he has trained under one of the lords of hell for basically his entire life to learn how to be what is called like a painkiller Illrigger. So he has got lots of scars. He's got a badass sword and armor, and he's like wearing stuff that like looks like he's wearing armor and bearing signets of things as Sarah. Oh my
Take
god!
the E off your head.
I'll
Sarah.
do that whole thing over again.
This is how I won't forget to use it.
Sarah, put it down.
I didn't even see that. I was so confused.
That's what I was laughing about, or did not laugh about earlier.
I was so very confused the entire time.
I was covering my mouth.
This in. It's because Sarah put one of her fate tokens right in her forehead somehow. I don't know if she did it.
So sorry.
Sweaty.
She's got a sticky forehead, I guess. Okay, so from the top,
Yeah.
Vesuvius has ashen gray, sort of smoky hair, and that's really kind of one of the only things I want to. Oh, guys. Their fate tokens. All right, we're just keeping all this all in at this point.
Yeah, this is how we remember to use them.
This is it. Okay,
The moment
Okay,
it falls
I'm
off, you have to play it.
I'm so sorry.
That's good.
I'm so sorry. Nick, please give us your information.
Guys,
Yes.
these fate tokens stick so well to our foreheads.
I know you're like, oh no,
Nick.
this
This is great.
This is how we exist.
All right.
So sorry.
He's got lots of scars from his trainings under Utsavisnu, which is one of the Utavisnu, who's one of the lords of hell. He's in charge of the sort of part of hell that's dealing with like, it's sort of like the Tartarus equivalent, where it's like all the really bad guys, like all the people who are getting punished for all eternity. So he's trained under that.
It is a
Guy.
region known as Timoria.
Yeah.
Woo.
So he's been, he's got the scars. He's got the look in his eyes. But that's kind of really all I want to describe him as.
Right.
That's
Besides
sick.
wearing hell
Um,
stuff.
You approach the large house built into the side of the valley. The manor grounds are wide with several columns and dying trees lining the yard. As you enter, an old man who appears rather athletic for their age, dressed in rather plain clothing, spies you from where he and a young man with floppy black hair are practicing the discus. He greets you with a large smile, and this is Adrestas, the King of Thyryma, who you are calling upon in your travels. And he greets you with a booming voice. He goes, friend, I don't believe I've made your acquaintance. And he walks over, he's extended out a large hand.
I pause for a moment, and then I grab his hand and greet with a big smile, and I shake it back. Like, hello, nice to meet you.
You have made your way into the home of myself, I guess. I'm Adrestas. I'm the King of Thyryma.
King.
Pleased to meet you. And your name is?
Vesuvius.
It was a pleasure to meet you. What brings you on your travels?
Well, I assume you know where I'm from.
No.
No, really? I thought this might. Okay, well, I am from Nishval, as you can tell by the swag, the Nishval attire.
Casually.
Do you even know who I am?
I mean, I'm dressed in Nishval.
I don't
like,
think Nishval necessarily has a specific look.
Not exactly highly populated.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Nishval tends to stay to Nishval.
this is also one of Vesuvius' first trips down Overworld. He doesn't know much about culture.
There you go.
All socially awkward.
So and it's not socially awkward. He's got great charisma. He just doesn't know how things work up here.
Hey, high
Socially
charisma does not
inept.
mean suave.
true.
No. Neither of those things. I think he's neither of those things. So Vesuvius goes, I'm sorry. Vesuvius from Nishval, son of Zerate. I am
Pleasure
here
to make your acquaintance.
Oh, thank you.
I hope we're not in trouble.
Well, unless you're the escaped soul I'm looking for.
No,
You're
no.
not.
No.
No, you're all good.
I fortunately am not yet passed into Nishval.
Yes.
Let me introduce you to my companion here. This is Telephos. And Telephos, the little floppy haired guy goes, hello.
Hello.
And he kind of takes a drink of looks like some wine. He's got wine in one hand, he's got a discus in another.
Look out.
Living the life.
And he goes, dude, would you like to come throw some discus and stuff? And dinner will be ready in a little bit. And if you'd care to join us and take it easy, and evening is approaching.
Is very, very tempting.
Come on.
Toss
the discus.
Yeah, okay, I will. I got it. I'll fight this guy. Why
All
not?
right.
You're gonna fight this guy?
what?
I'll find the guy.
Okay.
I'll find the guy I'm looking for. I'll
Then
find
fight him.
And then fight him. And then bring him back kicking and screaming to Nishval if that's what it takes. Yes.
Wonderful.
So this is how it's going to work. For throwing the discus, you're going to roll a
sweet.
strength check.
Hell yeah, first check of the game. Let's go.
And you're going to multiply your strength check by your strength score to determine
Whoa.
how far you throw it.
I got an exponential. Well, actually,
Fancy
guys, this will be a funny thing to learn about him. Okay, 8. So here's something funny about Vesuvius. His strength score is actually not that great. Which I'll explain why he is a knight later. So 8 times my strength score, which is 12, is 80 plus 16, so 96.
96 feet.
That's kind of a lot.
That's really far.
That's a
You
really good
We're
throw.
also mythic, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
96 feet for discus is about like rookie high school level.
Oh,
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
here I was all impressed. That's fine.
Thanks, Scott, for
Rookie.
bursting that bubble.
Sorry.
That's
The
informative.
first track.
The
star
good
to
news
follow
is
us.
you beat Telephos.
Hey, there we
who
go.
he completely biffed it on his on his release and bounces it off of one of the pillars that marks out like the circle that you throw it in. And it goes ding and falls in and hits maybe 27 feet out.
27.
Yeah, he just complete whiffed. Got a natural 2.
Hey, maybe you should put the wine down next time.
He just shrugs like takes a drink.
I think he was holding the discus in his offhand.
He's just
and the
having,
wine in
he's just
his
having a
right
good time.
hand.
You know, he might be.
And Adrestas beats you by literally like 7 feet. He goes, ooh, not a bad toss for an old man there.
For those of you
Wow.
who can't see, Scott is stretching his shoulder.
Yes,
Get
sorry,
him
he stretches his shoulder a little bit. Not a bad toss for an old man there.
Yeah, well, maybe you could give me some pointers sometime.
Best of 3.
Yes, let's do it. Roll again.
Telephos is like, I'm just gonna sit this one out.
No, it's a 7. It was worse.
Yeah, you gotta
84.
how far?
Well, 84.
84.
96 minus 12.
Let's see. 15 times 12.
We got it.
He
I
smoked
understand. I understand. I did bad. Emergency best of 5.
Yeah, he had a good toss. That was about 180.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Holy shit.
He doubled your first throw almost.
He goes, all right, one more throw.
Emergency best of 5. Yes, let's go.
Emergency best of 5. I like the way you think.
I got 10. I am doing such a middling results.
You should use a different die.
Jessica is very dice superstitious for those who.
He threw his 144 feet.
Fuck off.
Damn, he crushing you.
All right. I know what I'm defeated.
That's all right.
You're going to have to give me one more shot. Sorry, go ahead.
All right.
That's one!
Not one.
You know what? This isn't my game. You're going to have to give me some pointers, Matt. I'm new to this sort of. This is honestly one of my first times coming up here. It's one of my few first.
You don't have
assignments.
Discus done in Ishval.
We don't spend much time in revelry or
Recreation.
recreation. Yes, it's more like.
That's fair. I suppose Coracles has no influence down there.
Oh no, I barely know who that is, honestly.
Coracles. Actually, I'll have you roll religion to see if you know anything about it.
I don't think I was. I probably know some basic stuff. And my roll, well, if I didn't have a -2, it would have been a little better. So that's an 11.
You know what? I'll give it to you that you know that Coracles is the god.
He's the god.
Oh.
He's the one.
He's the guy.
Hold on. He is the god of wine, drunkenness, revelry, prosperity, and community.
Yeah, he's not big in Ishval.
I
You
bet
know what?
not.
That somehow checks out.
Yep.
Approaching as Vesuvius just completely whiffs this last discus toss. Jessica, how would you describe Kaseya?
Yeah, Kaisea is relatively tall, and as a lot of people you're seeing in the city right now, she is a little too skinny. Lots of bones sticking out, but she's got a very pale green skin with the snake hair lightly tied with a little ribbon to keep them from fluttering around her face and getting in
how
her
are the
peripheral.
snakes looking though? Are they looking thin?
The snakes are looking a little bit skinny. And
Not the
their
snakes.
scales are a bit dull. You can tell
Oh, no.
because they have these nice patterns of like darker green scales and almost teal, whereas she's a normal shade of not normal shade of green, but like a paler shade.
Your normal green skinned lady, yeah. I
Yeah,
got
and
you.
she's got
Yeah.
snake pupils as well, like very pale, almost like blue green eyes with snake pupils. And she is currently in her best clothing, which isn't very good. So she's like kind of just like your regular dark blue kind of tunic with half plate that's clearly slightly too big on.
Aw.
So it clanks a lot.
Aw.
And she's happily clanking up. You can see mace on one side, and she is looking at the sky and smiling,
Yeah.
generally having a good time.
As you approach the entrance of the manor grounds, Adrestas spots you and he goes, Kaseya, what brings such a lovely visit to my home? You are always welcome here.
It's good to see you too. I guess I'll get straight to the point. I wanted to plant an orchard in the woods. But I know the woods are yours, so like
Near your orphanage?
yeah, they the gardens aren't growing this year.
You know what? I think that's a lovely idea. Dinner's gonna be ready in a little bit. We can discuss the details more then.
Great.
I hope you're hungry.
I'm always hungry.
Wonderful. Agaria's got it great. Meager for our times, of course, but something to satisfy you, I hope. In the meantime, because we got about 10, 15 minutes or so, you want to throw the discus with us?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, everything's out of the way this time, right? I'm sorry about the window last time.
Don't even worry about it. I moved the discus pit.
Okay. It's good to see you.
I have totally forgot.
And she
Let me
gets-
introduce you to my new friend, Vesuvius, over here, and this is an old friend of mine named Telephos.
Hello.
Hello, and all of the snakes wave at you.
That's nice.
And Telephos kind of lifts up his glass, goes, "I'm not throwing." Takes another drink.
All right. I got it this time. I got this. All right.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's
No one's good at this discus.
multiply by 3.
By
Multiplied
your,
by your strength score.
score.
My strength score.
I hope your score is not 3.
No. So the 7 times the 70 feet.
Okay.
You have a flat 10 strength?
I have a flat 10 strength. Oh, yeah, that one did great this time.
It's pretty good.
Adrestas launches his 204 feet and goes,
Holy
that's not
shit.
bad. It's
My
not
dear
bad.
Lord,
Much
man.
better than last time.
This
No
dude-
windows.
Mm-hmm.
Care to go again.
This dude's gonna
Yeah,
end up being the final boss of
absolutely.
this whole campaign.
You know I'm taking it easy on you.
Please don't. I'm attached already.
He's just gonna throw discuses at our faces and kick our asses. Whoa, what was that look, Jessica?
It's me trying to multiply.
110.
It looked like you were just discovering that like
Add a 0.
Gorgons were real or something. I don't know.
Add a 0.
110 feet.
Okay. You actually almost got him this time. He threw his 132 feet.
I told you I was taking it easy on you.
Wow, one more for the win? All in double or nothing? Not that we're betting anything.
You bring out the good mead.
I might.
You guys have meat up here?
Of course I've made.
Only heard of it.
It's really good.
You get a nat 20.
Yes.
Well, I only
You
threw it
got a
like
nade.
40 feet that time.
Dude, he chucks it.
He launches his 240 feet. It goes just out the edge of the discus field he's got set up in his
Holy
house, and he's like,
shit.
I have never felt so alive.
Damn.
You seriously, you and me, teach me sometime. I got to learn this stuff. This is very entertaining.
he kind of stretch a little bit. He's like, I'm going to have to go sign up for the Olympics.
Are your arms okay? I can take care of that.
Oh, yeah. No, they feel great.
Okay.
I'm just keeping them loose.
I didn't want you to throw something again.
Scott is still
Nah,
stretching
nah.
his shoulder.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Are the girls in?
Yes.
Okay.
Niobe is here. She is, I believe, helping Agaria with the food.
Well, I can go say hi to them too.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't visited for a while. It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a while.
Good.
Bustle off.
As Kaisea wanders off, Justice, your character, approaches the gates of of King Adrestas' house. What does he look like?
Aramnos looks exceedingly average, just over 5 feet in height, rather skinny but not like gaunt,
Mhm.
with tight brown curls that come just below his chin, and a few very well healed scars on his particularly shoulders and face. He carries two what look like very weathered swords and a bow
Mhm.
over his back with a quiver at his hip.
Yeah, as you approach, Adrestas, again, ever vigilant of his gate, spots you. And he goes, another newcomer. I'm King Adrestas, King of Thyryma. Welcome to a marvelous city, and what might your name be?
I am Aramnos, protector of the forest of Ziana?
I may have heard of you. That name sounds familiar.
I wouldn't be surprised if you had.
What have you done?
Sorry.
What have you
What have I
done?
done?
Why might I have heard of you? The name, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I don't know why.
Well, I did recently drive a monster out of my forest. That's why I came here.
That might be why. Oh, I hope it's in good news.
Kind of.
Kind of.
It came in this direction. I'm here to finish it off
Well, we can discuss more of the details later.
beautifully.
In the meantime, dinner will be ready in about 5 to 10 minutes or so. And you want to throw some discus while we wait?
I would love to.
All right. Stay loose for this. Come on. 3 more good throws.
I would like to load the dice of luck.
No.
I'm not kidding.
Don't do it.
There's that token.
no.
You can roll with advantage.
Oh my gosh, Justin. He's just going to turn around and use that right back.
Yeah. Not.
Do you even get anything good for
Yeah.
that? What'd you get?
192 feet.
Did you get 2 10s?
I got a 10 and a 16.
Oh, 16. Okay.
You beat him.
Oh,
He threw his
gosh.
156 and goes,
Let's go.
Oh, that's.
competition finally. And kind of like jabs his elbow
I
into the
love to
series
hear
a
it.
little bit.
I'm kind of glaring at Justin's character.
He goes, one more time, yeah?
Absolutely.
Well, I hate you.
216 feet.
Ooh, he only got 180 there. He goes, double or nothing.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to spend the fate token.
No!
For his luck, you can have that back.
Matching 18. 216 feet.
204.
Oh
Hey!
my gosh.
And he goes, never mind, I'm sending him to the Olympics.
To be fair, I do spend a great amount of time in the forest drawing this heavy bow.
That's fair. That is you have me there. My respect for you.
Happy to have
We
it.
have a winner for
Right
the
back at you.
evening. And about that time, you hear a little ding of a bell. And he goes, "Oh, that's like Ariad. It's time for dinner. Come into my feasting hall." And he leads you into the dining hall of his rather large house, where you see a meager feast. There's not a lot of fruits and veggies on this feast, but there is an okay amount of meat. But it's one of those things where like you feel a little bit like he's kind of pulling out a little bit more because he has guests than he necessarily feels safe, but he's giving a little more because he just wants to be hospitable towards you. It's very good cooking. His wife Agaria and his granddaughter Niobe are there as well, along with of course Telephos. And he says, "So this monster that you drove off, tell me about that."
It's a beast that molds the worst of both Drake and Lion into a singular body, a manifestation of nature's fury. I hunted and fought the beast. I tracked it through the forest even as it flew overhead, and laid scars upon its body as it laid them upon mine. Scars that I drew cut deeper. Its tail flung spines to match my arrows, but mine flew more true. As dust settled, my aim had taken half of its sight, and it took to the skies and fled, leaving nothing to follow. But I am more skilled a hunter than it a coward. Tracked its escape to the east, where I still follow, waiting for a moment to slay the beast that dared challenge me.
And you think it came to Thyryma?
Here to the east.
Well, we shall be vigilant. I appreciate the warning. I'm assuming you'll be tracking it further and then...
That's absolutely. That's the whole reason I'm here.
Well, I hope you will rest well tonight and carry on your journey.
I just wanted to give you a warning. There was a beast in the area.
I very much appreciate that. And I now remember why I have heard of you before. I heard rumors of a man who had driven off a manticore from the forest. I'm very glad you informed me it was coming this way. I shall keep out for my people.
Way to be helpful.
Hopefully it does not come here. We have troubles enough. What brings you here? Kasaya? Oh, nope. I remember you wanted to plant an orchard, yes?
Yeah, the gardens aren't really growing this year, so
Yes. I will speak on that in a little bit, I think. I would rather learn and hear who you all are first, but I will let you know you have my blessing.
Well, you know who I am, but if we're talking about beasts, would you like to hear a tale?
I would love to.
Wow.
I live for this.
It was several years ago now, but for weeks, my orphanage was beset by a shadow. It came in the darkest pits of the night when even the bravest soldier would hold more tightly to their torch. And it stole away joy from the weakest among us before the rays of dawn could even catch its deeds. And the only trace of its passing was the wails of those left behind. But I knew the shadow was greedy, and it was growing fat from gorging itself on the defenseless, and I knew where its sight would turn next, to a child who at the time was not even able to leave her bed. And she's gonna kind of pat Niobe on the shoulder, like a very sisterly, friendly pat.
And Adrestas kind of leans over to Vesuvius and nudges him. He's like, I love this part.
So, I set a trap. I sat beside the girl, holding her hand, feeling the fluttering of life in her wrist, and waited, pretending I had fallen asleep in my vigil until, sure enough, it struck. When it thought the girl was most vulnerable, and I jumped up, catching it, mid-leap over the princess's bed as it attempted to sink ivory fangs into its sweet victim and flee before the dawn. And she gives another wink at Niobe, and she goes, I have never seen a monster before or since with such eyes. And for a second, neither of us moved. And then Niobe woke and pleaded with me to show it mercy. And I can't refuse her anything, especially not then, but she even told me to offer it the very cinnamon bun it was stealing off of her bedside. But and then that little beast walked up as if it owned the place, curled up beside her head, and I've not been able to get rid of it since. She's named it, Styx?
Yeah.
Styx. And I've still not been able to break the little monster out of stealing my cinnamon buns every single morning. Oh, and I did find the herb that, is the reason Niobe's still with us while I was chasing that stupid cat out the window.
Challenge it for the cinnamon buns.
I do every single day.
With Discus?
No, actually, with my broom.
Ah,
The cat's rather feisty.
maybe just hit it with a discus. You're pretty good at that.
He kind of like looks at his dog. He's like, or his granddad is like, I can't. Break poor Niobe's heart and like tussles her hair. And Agaria looks. She smiles very softly, looking at Kaisea and kind of mouths another thank you.
Yeah, it's no problem.
And Adrestas goes, you know, I'm rather glad you both are talking about beasts because this gives me an excuse to talk about the troubles I had about a year ago. Did you guys ever hear about that?
Oh,
Did-
yeah.
Did I tell you about that, Kaisea?
Oh, yeah.
I've been secluded in the forest. Please inform me.
Not ever heard of it.
No problem. So I tell you, my friends, I am glad I stayed behind while my son was off at war, becoming a hero in his own right. A year before that war ended, which hopefully he returns soon. It's been a few years, but time is what it is. Our beloved home here was attacked by a cyclops known as Modor. Have you heard of him?
Can't say I have.
Well, he lives off in the Apenian woods. He stood at the entrance of our valley and demanded tribute of feud once every year. Had we given him what he had wanted, we would be just as worse off as we are now. But I couldn't let that happen. I didn't know what was going to happen to our city. So I strapped on my armor and I met him on the field of battle. I tell you, our fight was the stuff of legend. Modor stood some 25 feet tall and I had nothing but a spear and a shield.
And a discus.
I should have thought about that, but I didn't.
Should've.
I gave him what he asked for, though, I'll tell you what. I blinded his eye, reflecting the sun off my shield, and hurled my spear, and in one throw I cleaved off his left ear, leaving the Titan blinded and half deaf. Needless to say, that coward fled, and after that, we never saw him again. Vesuvius,
Yeah.
do you have any monster stories in your background?
I mean, well,
Other than the entirety of Nishval that you
Well-
so fortunately escaped?
not
We'll
an
let out.
escapee. Hold on, let me just make
Sorry,
this. No
sorry.
one escapes from Nishval. And if they do, that's why
That's
they
why you're
said
chasing
me.
people out of Nishval, right?
I'm sorry?
Why you're chasing someone, right? Because nobody escapes.
Well, clearly
Well,
someone did if he's chasing someone. Just in
That's
case.
that's exactly my point.
And
Good, good.
if someone does, that's why they send me. So, I mean, I don't know how I can get you. I have confidentiality policies and all that. But honestly, this is one of my first
NDA?
first service. I mean, I did have that thing in that one town, but I'm sure you've all heard about it. I don't need to talk about that again.
Nope.
That is highly specific.
No, it's just that there was that one time there was an escaped murderer from Nishval, and he was, disguising himself as the butcher and chopping up people and serving
I'm
people.
going to
and,
cover Niobe's ears.
and then as we're gonna go into Naomi's perspective as Vesuvius makes very, very violent gestures and goes around, and from their perspective, everyone around the table is just like, "Oh my god!"
One of my snakes just kind of slithers around my head to cover her eyes.
And then at the end, it's like, and so yeah, we brought it back to Nishval, and as many pieces as he liked to chop people up in. And it was yeah.
Wow.
We like having barbecues too.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that town, I don't think it's had a barbecue since after,
I
yeah.
should hope not.
Well, I
Use the
hope
barbecue.
nobody in Thyryma is on your bad side.
Oh, should hope not. No, they're with my praise past this point. I'm just stopping for a quick spell, and
Oh, well, there's a really good fruit stand about halfway between here and the next town over. Make sure you stop there because it is strawberry season and there are a few left. There isn't a big harvest this year, but make sure you go.
Prices any at all see in the streets.
They're very expensive right now.
okay, I'm going to have to try that. Yes, I don't know if I've had the strawberry.
What?
You know about it. You don't have strawberries in Nishval?
We don't really have gardens or orchards.
What do you eat?
You can't tell me there's no gardens in Ammonia, the place of heroes.
Well, I'm sure there are actually, but I don't visit there quite often. I'm in a bad place. It's kind of where I trained, and
Oh, so you have like a specialty.
yes, there is different specialties as a knight of Nishval, and mine is to punish and to seek out. So yes,
Sound like a lovely dude.
thanks, man.
Well, you did mention your father was Zared, so I guess that makes some amount of sense.
Oh yeah, no, Zare's he's great.
Can I roll insight on that?
Can I join in rolling insight on that?
Go for it.
I'm good at that, and I still cannot roll.
You're good at that, and you
10.
still suck at it.
Dirty 20.
30-20? Okay.
How does it feel?
I mean, tell it's conflicting emotions, Justice.
Sick.
Jessica?
Oh.
Zare seems...
Family's hard.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I get that.
I do not.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the dinner.
No problem.
Yes.
It is my pleasure. What?
How's the food?
It's all right. The any of the vegetables and fruit don't quite taste the best, right? They taste like they're like the worst of the crop, but they also it looks like they might not be the best.
Mhm.
And the meat is rather lean. It like looking at the it doesn't look like the animals are well fed either.
Mhm.
And King Adrestas says, my friends, I have happily lived in Thyryma for more years than I can remember. I've seen it grow from a small town to a sprawling community you see before you. I remember when the Temple of Coracles at the top of our valley here was nothing more than a small shrine and a banquet table. Crops now grow where they used to not, and our community has grown 12-fold. Fruit trees now grow everywhere, only the wild wood of Ziona used to grow. But times are changing for the worse. For the second year in a row, our crops wither in our fields. Fruit falls from the trees before they ripen, black and rotten. The livestock is not healthy now, they sicken every day. A blight lies upon our lands, and I fear somehow our community has angered Ilfine, and I do not know how to appease this anger. I have tried making offerings and given her prayer, but I fear it has not worked. If you have any ideas, my dear friends, I would love to hear them. I wish I could present a better city than I currently do, and I fear I cannot repair this community if we fall apart. My people are starving, and I'm afraid my adventuring days are behind me. I would send my son, but he has not yet returned, and my granddaughter is too young. Do you know of anything that might help? I hate to ask of stuff as a host for you, but...
Jessica, didn't you say that you worship Delphine, or is that somebody else?
I am a cleric of Ilfine,
I
and
thought so.
as the king is saying this, she looks down. It's very, very clearly ashamed of what is going on
This
here.
is definitely eyeing you down.
I don't really have much more than I've already put forth. I mean, we could plant more orchards, but we've tried, turning the fields, offering, taking, but the children are starving, and Ilfine cares for her children. I don't know. I don't know why she's not answering. Maybe
Not
a new
answering at
orchard.
all?
Maybe I've gotten nothing that I could share. Really, nothing clear. I don't understand what's going on.
Sorry to butt in. Why don't you just request an audience? So
I mean,
you don't do that on this.
That's not how deities
I
work.
don't think that's
here.
quite how that works up here.
Telephos takes a big drink and goes, actually, you might be able to. Oh, my good King Adrestas. I think I have a solution for you. Since you told me of your plight earlier to our friends' arrivals, I have thought about this much, and I think I have a solution for you. There's an Oracle of Ilfine near where my homeland is. It's a journey as would take you beyond the Apenian woods, across the Pelennai Mountains, and through the forest of Sabarnesus. You'll find a tower with the Oracle of Ilfine in it. If you'll bring her an offering, good Adrestas, then I might imagine the Lady of Grain might smile upon you then.
Oh, really?
What was that?
That was a oof.
What?
That was a dirty look.
That
Just
really
gave
was.
real life Scott a real life dirty look.
I'm
why
sorry.
why would that be different from the offerings to our shrines here, to even with an oracle? Are they not good?
I mean, the oracles, they're chosen as like mouthpieces of the deities. Like it's a larger temple. It might get more attention. Ilfine might be distracted. You know how the gods are.
Fickle.
All right, if you say. Take a bite of an apple.
I mean, I guess
I'm sorry, where were you from again?
I'm from Megathos, which is near where the Oracle of Ilfine is. Across the Apenian woods, over the Apellini Mountains on the other side of the forest of Sabarnesus.
I see. And what brings you here to Thyryma?
Oh, I was just paying it. I'm also a follower of Gorkles. I'm a traveling priest. I thought I would hang out with, check in with the good King Adrestas, because I heard that Thyryma was not doing great, and so I wanted to pop in and just say hello, see what I could do to help.
You're welcome here.
Thanks.
So much.
And her look
so
says
much
the exact
spine.
opposite.
So much spine in that voice.
So much.
Going to take a very aggressive.
Yeah, I'm sorry to. I'm not sure how things are done up here, but if you need an audience with, just seek an audience. I don't. That's not how it works.
No.
They like sending a lot more signs to us than they do just showing up. It's not very often they show up. I heard, there was this one butcher when I was a child. I spent a lot of time in the city just looking at things, but he said that he did see the gods daily, but also I counted exactly 7 jars of ale outside of his house, so I don't know how accurate that was in hindsight.
Telos takes another drink and goes, "It's a great way to see the gods."
Is it?
It really is. Trust me.
Oh.
Talk to Gorkles all
I
the
should try
time.
that.
He does worship the god of drunkenness.
Well, that would make sense.
Around this time, Sarah, your character, completely just walking in through the manor grounds and straight into the dining hall. What does Anthea look like?
Anthea is about 5'6". She's thin but very fit. She's out in the woods by herself, living her best life with her bow. Ragged and messy, but has her stuff pretty much together. Doesn't look like it, but has her stuff together. It's just her. So
How do you barge in here?
I was gonna say guns blazing, but I don't got any of that. So
I don't have any
bows
guns
blazing.
yet.
Sun's
No,
out.
I just all the energy in the world. I am furious because bitches be in my camp. I was gonna,
kicks open the door of the dining hall. Just bitches be in my camp.
yeah. Yes, a few days ago, this large ogre came into my camp and stealing my shit.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
Sorry, I don't think we've met. I am King Adrestas,
Yeah,
and you are
Thea.
Anthea.
Yeah, I
It's a
live
pleasure
in
to meet you.
the forest. Was it east? No,
Mhm.
east of here.
Ah, the Apennine Woods.
Yes.
You said an ogre?
Yes, a large ogre came into my grove and has been stealing shit from me.
Which shit
Like-
specifically?
Deer, my food.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be any ogre in here. So
These are his woods. You need to fix it.
Oh,
Oh.
I do.
Yeah. This is not the first time this has happened.
Well,
King, do you mind? I've dealt with a lot of angry customers before.
Customer service at its finest, everyone.
Hey, so I go up and I kind of stand in front of the door and I pull my sword out.
No.
I just put it in front of me. I just put it on the ground, holding it 2 hands. I'm like, look, lady, I understand you're upset. Sometimes it's just the way things
are you?
My name is Vesuvius.
Oh, cool. Okay, King.
I'm pissed.
It is about time that you fix this. I have tried to do something about this. You are the king.
okay. Well, how about we make a deal? Don't give me that look. You are rolling your eyes at the king right now.
That's generally not a wise decision. If I know anything about kings, which I don't, but I'm trying.
Which I don't.
I would like to know every single one of my snakes rolls its eyes at that point.
Snakes have the ability to
I was
roll
just
their
going to
eyes.
ask that question.
It's a fantasy world. Fight me.
You have a problem. I also have a problem. What if I think you might be able to help me and I can help you? A little tit for tat, if you will.
I like tits.
Well, good to know.
That's wonderful. As you can see, the city is not doing too hot agriculturally. We need to make a journey to the Oracle of Ilfin and give an offering there to appease her, hopefully, for any mistakes that we might have made, so that she might restore vitality to our lands. I will look into your issue with this ogre, you say, if you will go to the Oracle of Ilfin for me.
I want you to just look into it. It needs to be solved.
I will solve it.
Which direction is the Oracle from here?
It is to the east.
Isn't her forest also to the east?
Yes. That's my other direction.
Could it be your monster, maybe?
No, my monster was a manticore, not an ogre.
Oh, that's correct. Your shirt was an ogre.
No. It's ogre-like creature. I haven't seen it. I've just caught all my things leaving my
it
camp.
might be my monster.
They like got up and walked
Okay.
away.
I can just hear them outside my hut.
So you didn't see it at
So
all.
wait, hold on. You came into this place, barging down the doors, and you don't even know if there's an actual monster stealing your stuff, or if they're just your deer are just running
Hold
away.
on.
I've been in
Hold
the
on,
woods. I
hold
know
on.
what creatures. I know a human track is different than a creature track.
So what kind of track is it?
I was just about to ask tracks and what noises did you hear?
I don't know what the manticore is.
Not humanoid footprints.
Yeah, you would know that they're large humanoid footprints.
Okay. I'll make another 180. That's not my monster.
Manticore's kind of like a
It's a fantasy beast. It's like a mix. It's like a chimera. It's like a mix between like a lion
a manticore
and like
is
an eagle and
the
a-
face of a human with sharp teeth, body of a lion, wings of a dragon, and then a spiny tail that launches spikes.
Scorpion tail.
Holy crap!
and the
Yeah,
attitude of a high school
And I
bully.
fought it alone.
True.
No, she's got that
Oh,
attitude.
if she's in the Opinion Woods, would I have ever caught a glimpse of you if you're a hermit in the woods? My orphanage is quite literally on the border of the Opinion Woods at the very
Oh.
edge of the city.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure how much
Because
for hermit you were.
she's deep into like the northeast,
Deep
and your
in it.
orphanage is
Okay.
on like the edge of the southeast.
Yeah, Astor Meadows.
Get out of my area.
Did I just tell you where I lived?
Stay away.
This seems oddly aggressive.
That's okay.
She is oddly aggressive. We're like trying to help
I'm
her
just
right
gonna
now.
offer her a roll, like a dinner roll.
I'm gonna look at her. Look at all her snakes staring at me. Snatch it quickly.
Works every time.
Adrestas kind of sighs and he goes, "My friends, Erimnos, Vesuvius, Kaseya, and Anthea. Though it pains me to ask, I am an old man, and I have responsibilities to my people and my community, responsibilities that Corcles demands I do, and I cannot do all of them. I cannot both take care and provide for my people from my stores, and I cannot go on this quest to appease Ilfin at the same time. Therefore, I ask that you go in my stead to this Oracle of Ilfin. Formally, please, I wish I need not ask this of you, but there are none amongst my peers who I trust nor whom fate seems to have placed before me. Would you go and treat Ilfin as an offering in my name? I can extend my reach to take care of responsibilities you might have. I can, Garia, I know, would be willing to look over for the orphanage while you're
Oh, thank you.
away, and I hope it would not defer too long from your current mission.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's on the way.
You have like two ways you could get to where you're going. You could go like north and then east, or you could go east and then
Yeah.
north.
Of course,
You,
we'll
you have
we'll help.
anybody capable of tracking and killing the manticore?
I have friends in the Opinion Woods who I can ask to keep an eye out. Rangers of Zion.
I would be amiss to not kill it myself, but if it's orders from on high, that's how this works, right?
I mean, kind of. I don't really know.
You do not have to, but I would ask. Please, we have a lot of people here, and if you can help lift this curse, it would do wonders for the surrounding woods on both sides of our
Cool.
forest.
I can't say no in good conscience, so
Yeah, of course we're going to help.
Thank you. I appreciate it. If you need anything, but equipment-wise or like, to prepare for your journey, it will be on my dime.
Night of Hell comes prepared.
if I could get how do people transmit messages long range here?
Usually human messenger.
Right. If I could be informed when that manticore is found,
Of course.
so I can be still of mind, that would be great.
I will send my swiftest rider on the road after you.
Thank you.
I'm going to reward you guys all with a point of piety for that. For accepting to aid King Adrestas. Piety, for you audience, is a system that we are using to represent how much favor you have with your specific deity that you worship. So, Justice and Sarah's characters, Erimnos and Anthea, worship Ziana. Vesuvius, Nick's character, is a follower of Zerate, who is his dad. Ziana is Anthea's mom, so they naturally fall into worshiping there. And then Kaisea, our cleric, worships Ilfin, whose oracle you guys are about to head to.
Are we related?
I'd just worship Ziana.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I didn't. Yeah, I missed a part. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I don't know this man.
You would know that because you spent a little bit of time with your dad,
Yes,
but you have not met Ziana. He is not a child of Ziana. He's just a follower.
he's just a follower.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. That's what I missed.
Very, very lucky follower.
Yeah, and I think so. Yeah, I think the he offers you food. I don't know if you were going to stay with King Adrestas. He offers you shelter, for the night and food. So you guys will leave in the morning.
Well, okay. I go back. I wasn't prepared for any of this.
I'm sorry. I do need to set things straight before I go.
I totally understand if
Ema's too old to be left alone for too long. I think she can't see too well anymore.
Gary is just like, I'll meet you in the morning and when you come this way, and I will.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think you guys finish up the feast, and then he has rooms for Aramnos and Vesuvius.
Yes, I do want to practice discus throwing.
We practice a little bit of discus. Just as it comes out, and he gives you some pointers on it.
Yes, thank you.
He's like, all right, so on your spin, you want to hold the discus like this and release about here. This is about the angle. You want this angle and release.
All right.
And then we'll jump forward a little bit to you head back into your room. There's a little tiny fireplace in your room that's been heating it. And all of a sudden, just going by, you roll over and you look into the flames, and you see this figure of a tall, gaunt man suddenly form in the fire. His frame is wiry, but still strong. He has a thin goatee and close-cropped hair that accent his very sharp face. And he looks at you out of the fire at you, Vesuvius. He's formed out of the flames. And he says, I assume you understand what you must do here. No. And you recognize the form of your father, Zarate.
Yes, Dad, I got it. Yes, Father.
There have been people arriving in Nishval from here far too quickly. You're in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You will solve this problem before you find your escapee.
Yes, sir.
And he just kind of turns around, and you've seen him use this like system of communication before.
Mm-hmm.
Before he fully walks out of like the area, the circle that allows him to talk to you through the fires like this. He turns back and looks at you, and he says, "Remember, boy, the manifestation of truth has yet to exalt their second mortal to godhood. Do not disappoint me." And then he steps out, and his form leaves the fire.
Are you trying to become a god?
No.
We don't share a room, do we?
No.
He was
That
awake
would've
the
been
whole time.
Crazy.
No, you guys have your own rooms.
I thought so, but also thought I'd check.
Well, I mean, to answer your question fully, Justice, that's going to be for the rest of the story to find out.
That's a yes.
I mean, do you want to talk about that now, or you want to keep that more secret?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Go for
This world, there's a number of deities. There are a couple of categories of deities. There's a group called the Manifestations, which would be death, dream, fate, virtue, life, luck, and truth. And then there's a group called the Exalted. The Exalted are the gods who will have dominion, like Zarate and Ziana and Ilfine and Coracles. These are the ones who are commonly worshipped. And then the Manifestations are these kind of more esoteric things. The Manifestations are known to have appointed the actual mortals to be gods, which is why they're called the Exalted. They've been taken from a position of mortality and exalted to be these divine beings, which then have the ability to grant power. It is well known, especially amongst the deities, but also kind of generally amongst the public, that in Asteria, the heaven area, the court of the gods in Asteria, there are 14 seats, but there are only 13 exalted. So, which means one of the manifestations, according to the old laws, has not finished, has a second mortal who they are allowed to exalt. As Zeri just said, this is the manifestation of truth, has not picked their second deity to exalt. So it is not uncommon for heroes to try and achieve exaltation to that last 14th seat.
To respond to that, Vesuvius kind of just rolls back over in bed, says, "Well, thanks, Dad. Good night." Goes to sleep.
It is morning then. I think we can jump ahead here. And you are gathering, I think you guys gather at the edge of the city. Yes?
Fine by me.
Yeah.
Telephos will be able to tell you need to take the road south to Leparnicus, and then about a few ways, or like a few miles down the road, you will cut to the east, and that road shall take you through the forest or through the Epinian Woods, and there's a mountain pass you can cross, and there's a road on the other side that will go straight to the oracle. He says he's like, I passed this oracle on the way here. And Adrestas, before you leave, he says, my good friends, I thank you very much for your kindness. I must warn you first before you begin your journey, the Epinian Woods are not safe. Stay on the paths, for there are stories of those who have left the path and become lost, never to be found. Ziana owns those woods and has gifted it to her druids and rangers to keep sacred. With one of you, and you've lived there long enough, I'm sure you guys will be fine. But I cannot let you guys go without giving you that warning, a good conscience. He holds forth the offering he is giving to the Oracle of Ilfine, which is a carefully crafted silver urn depicting the founding of Thyryma, etched in on the sides of it. It looks like it is probably crafted by the best silversmith in Thyryma.
How durable does that look?
It looks really durable.
Great.
Yeah, it's probably about a foot tall, and about 8 inches in diameter at its widest.
Okay, much more transportable than I originally imagined.
Yeah, and it's not super heavy because inside you earn King Adrestas says and here's the last of my personal seeds. Can I say Adrestas owns a couple fields on the edge. He owns a lot of the fields on the edges of Thyryma, even though his manor is very central to Thyryma.
Yeah, a lot of my kids end up working for him.
Yeah, he's very kind and very accepting of orphans, which makes sense as a follower of the god of community. So, with that, you set off on your journey, initially following this road south towards Laparnica. The road winds through the Epinian Woods on a generally southeast track. Is just wide enough for carts to pass each other, though most travelers appear to be headed towards Laparnica with you. The woods here grow close to the normally heavy trafficked road, and the trees are tall, old maples and oaks. The undergrowth is busy and covers most of the forest floor between the trunks. A few miles south of Thyryma, you cut east along a much less well-traveled road. This road is older, has started to grow across the path at several places, but as the road travels deeper into the Epinian Woods, the dense undergrowth suddenly gives way to a clear floor with patches of nourishing undergrowth scattered about, as if you passed a barrier. The woods suddenly appear cleared and well taken care of.
I'll carry the urn, by the way. I'll put it in my backpack, so
Yeah.
Talk have that, make sure it's covered so the seed can't come out.
Has your guy been completely silent?
No, she talks, she speaks, but every time I try and mention anything relating to whatever's going on, the garden's dying, the famine's, nothing. It's like I can't feel anything, but she's kept the children from starving, but not much beyond that. They're all skin and bones right now.
So you can hear her, but she just completely ignores you when you ask about this particular issue.
Yeah, she refuses to answer.
If anything, that's more suspicious, in my opinion.
Okay. Look, not to be that guy, but I have experience dealing with gods. Look, Ilfine, what is she like?
I mean, she takes care of us. I mean, she's provided for all of the children.
Not what she does. What is she like?
Like, what does she enjoy, or what does she enjoy?
She's very kind. She enjoys, small offerings that you can make with your hands. That, like, she likes you giving the gifts that she's given you back to her. So if she gives us, like, seeds, then we give her apples, and, if she likes seeing children taken care of, that's what we do. I grew up there, and now I take care of them.
All right, that's great and all, but here's the thing. Here's the civvy on how to deal with gods. All right, here's Vesuvius's little spiel for you.
Okay.
You want to make peace with gods? There's the 3 P's.
Of course I do.
Penance, punishment, peace offerings.
This sounds like this only works with your god.
Yeah.
You realize the other gods work differently, yes?
Okay, so
Huh?
Other gods work differently than yours. Like Ziana is a god of the hunt. You don't go about punishment.
No.
You kill quickly and cleanly and painlessly.
I mean, I make sure they
They're
don't
very
steal.
different.
Look, hey man, look, dude. I know what I'm talking about. All right. Are you a son of Zerate?
Ziana.
Yeah. So
And no, I'm not.
I'm a son of Zeri.
Fantastic. You don't know shit when it comes to outside of Nishval.
Look, man.
Got it?
I mean, I'm willing to try anything at this point. So, I mean, I've said sorry as many times as I can think of. I mean, we've brought apples. We've said if there's anything I've done, like, tell me. But she won't tell me what I've done. So I don't know. I'm not me personally, but like, I put the kids in timeout when they steal stuff. And I try to teach them not to steal. So does that count as punishment?
No, it's like what are you doing? That's like you can't control whatever the people do. You gotta control what you do. Like, are you going and you prostrating yourself? Are you going off your piece?
What myself?
Prostrating yourself.
I mean, I grew up in a safe place. I never.
What? No, it's not prostitution. That is not what I said.
If I what myself?
Never mind. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay. You know what? Let me do the talking when we get to the
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
No,
you
I
don't
think
get
I
to do
got
the
this,
title.
guys.
This is
No.
my God.
look.
I do the talking.
Yeah.
Look, I hate talking to people, and there's no way I'm in hell I'm letting you talk to
That's
an
a
oracle.
funny phrase you just said right there. Because if you were in hell, you would want me to do the talking.
If we were
Yeah,
in hell,
but
I would let
we're
you do all
not.
of the talking, but
So
we're not.
there is a way, especially in hell, that you would.
You got me there.
All of my snakes are just slowly curling up on themselves. They don't like conflict.
Snakes don't like.
This is gonna be rough for them.
This
Then.
world's very different than your own. You know a lot. You know what you're talking about, but like things are a little different up here.
Are the woods okay
Well-
right now? Can I look at the woods to
Yeah,
make sure that
the
I'm gonna walk
forest-
ahead very quickly, like I'm speed walk mom.
Literally running away from conflict.
I'm
Yeah.
going to walk with dignity quickly away from conflict.
The forest sounds alive. There's a very pleasant birdsong that swirls around you. After about an hour or two of travel, you notice tracks on the ground off in the shadows of what look like bears standing on their hind legs. As you notice this and the strange thought crosses your mind, the sound of birdsong is interrupted by the jarring, high-pitched growls and roars that come from above you. And looking up into the sky, you see descending upon you a cluster of strange creatures. They have the large bodies of forest eagles and the heads of grizzly bears, and their jaws are open, bearing large teeth, and spittle sprays out as they scream and attack. We're gonna roll for initiative next week.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for listening. Our cast this season consists of Scott Graves as our Game Master, Sarah Heaton as the Sorcerer and Thea, Nick Meyer as the Illrigger Vesuvius, Justice Milhan as the Ranger Eremnos, and Jessica Simons as the Cleric Hysea. The Epikast is produced and edited by Scott and Nick, and our intro-outer music is recorded and produced by the wonderful Wilson Moyer. You can find the amazing background audio used during the game at tabletopaudio.com. If you like the show and want to support us, spread the word to your friends and on social media at Gravestone Crew on Twitter and Instagram. If you really like what you hear and want to support the show, you can support us with drinks at buymeacoffee.com/gravestonecrew. We got a donation button over there, as well as memberships, which will grant you special end-of-season bonuses like stickers and GM notes. Once again, thank you for listening, and be sure to check out our other shows, The Kestrel Files and The Shadows over California. You can find more about those on our website, gravestoneproductions.com.